Welcome to Daily Life Connection. Thanks for joining us again today as we explore Luke chapter 15, my favorite chapter in the whole Bible, I think, as it reveals the amazing heart of God the Father. Today we're going to visit verse 19, when this younger son who has fallen into such depths of despair and just lost everything, and he comes back to the Father. And he says, I am no longer worthy to be called your son. I'm no longer worthy. Boy, I think many of us can identify with that phrase that the son used, can't we? How many times do we feel unworthy of coming into the very Father's presence? His story basically was, I've disqualified myself. Because of what I've done, because of the behavioral choices I've made, because of the sins I've committed, because of my rebellion, because of my insolence toward you, I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. And so he is in this frame of mind of I've disqualified myself. My choices have reduced my worth or eliminated my worth, removed my worth to the Father. And this, of course, is just common to the people of that day and to us as well, that feeling of we have somehow, the things we've done, the mistakes we've made, the failures and errors, have somehow made us of less worth to the Father. And that is exactly where grace comes in, because Jesus makes it clear that this is not true. He said, the son starts this speech, Father, I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. I've sinned against heaven and against earth. And the Father interrupts him. The Father doesn't let him finish. The Father changes the story about the son. This is the son's story. I'm not worthy. But the Father says, you are my son, and you are worthy of the robe and the ring and the sandals and the celebration. You are worthy of my embrace. You are worthy of being called my son. This is such a shocking moment in this story. The listeners would all have been, what? No, Jesus, no, he is not worthy. He has made himself unworthy. You know, I think somehow that's kind of crept into our theology in many ways and into our songs. I mean, Amazing Grace, an incredible song, but to save a wretch like me. Well, yeah, there's truth that the son is a wretch, but he's still the son, and he's still worthy. You know, and I think we need to confront this lie of the enemy, that you are not worthy to be embraced by the Father. You're not worthy to be considered a child, an heir in this whole thing, and just to stand on what Jesus has done for us. You see, because of what Jesus has done for us, sin has lost its power to determine our status with God. Did you get that? Because of what Jesus has done, sin lost its power to determine our status with Abba. You see, what Jesus is trying to communicate in this story is, because of what I'm doing and because of who I am and because of what I will accomplish on the cross, you have become worthy because of what I've done, not because of what you've done. So, I mean, incredibly good news today. We are not qualified to be in God's presence by our good behavior, which sometimes we think, well, I've prayed and I've given and I've read my Bible and I've gone to church and therefore I'm sort of worthy. No, it has nothing to do with our worth. But the good news is, on the other side of that coin, all the mistakes we've made, the failures we've had, the sins, the bad attitudes, all those things that we think alienate us from God or make us unworthy, that's not true either. Our behavior, our choices, our failures, our successes, none of all of that has anything to do with our status before Abba, before Father. We say, I'm not worthy, and in a sense that's very true. But because of Jesus Christ, he has made us worthy. He has made us worthy. And therefore we rely on that. And that grace just should overwhelm us. It should just, we stand in awe of that incredible grace of God that says, I will choose to make you worthy so that you can be comfortable in my presence. Wonderful news today. Let's think about that. The son's story, I'm not worthy. The father's story, you are my son, you are worthy. and I'm going to bestow all these things upon you. Sin has lost its power to determine our status with Abba. That is incredibly good news for the day. Let's rejoice in it. Let's give praise to God for it, and let's walk in that confidence and let Abba hug us and call us child of God. Well, that's it for today. Let's talk again tomorrow. God bless.